Hi, I'm Verena Gayatri, Primus. Thank you for being here. Thank you for practicing with me. This is a video where I show an adapted version of the Sun Salutation if you have wrist pain. I have a video going with this, talking about what you can do when you're injured in yoga. This is the video where I show how you can continue practicing even Sun Salutations when you have wrist pain, and if you practice really gentleness, awareness, and deep listening into your body and using your pain as a teacher, guiding you deeper into awareness and, humility with your own body, not pushing your body, but listening to what your body needs. So let's go ahead. For this practice, it's good to have at least one block. Maybe if you have two, keep the second one handy and place them in the front of the mat. So let's get started right away, placing the feet hip distance apart. And to begin with, on the first side, let's say my injured wrist is now the right side. Yeah, for you, everything I'm doing is the same, just do it with the left. I show on the other side with the left. So let's say my right wrist is the hurt wrist. So Tadasana, I think you can do normally. You can reach the hands still actively down, lengthening the spine, releasing the lower back. And then inhale, exhale, Namaste. You should be able to do, but don't push the wrist. You just keep a gentle angle in the prayer pose. And this, your wrist is straight. That should be okay, length and long. Then length and long, the spine reaching forward. And here, make sure that the injured wrist, you're not pushing into a 90-degree angle. Keep the wrist long. With the other hand, maybe you can go all the way down, what you're used to. But with the injured, maybe either make a fist, put the fist on the floor, drop to the head, or just rest it on the block and just using the other one. Now step back with the left. The right arm is my injured arm. So here again, I don't push into a sharp 90-degree angle. Maybe it's nice here to use both blocks. You just reach up with both, keeping both wrists long and stable. And then putting the blocks to the side. And now with the plank pose, there are many variations. I personally, so if you have one good arm and one injured arm, put most of the pressure on the good arm, and with the injured wrist, make a fist and balance here with most pressure on the good arm. And with the right arm, it's just kind of a pressure, but keeping the wrist straight. Actually, that builds up strength in the wrist without hurting it. Or you can do as I did in the adapted shoulder stand, shoulder pain, Sun Salutation, the side plank. Either with your foot on top of the other, or in front of the other, or bending the foot and reaching up. And then you come down, maybe grab a block, come onto your knees if you don't want to put pressure on your wrist, then come down onto your forearms and lower the knees and the hips and the chest. Instead of Cobra now, which puts pressure on the wrist, come into a Sphinx, staying here a couple of breaths. Opening and then pushing, especially with the good arm. Your injured wrist can actually make a fist again. You can push up your fist so you strengthen your wrist without putting pressure. Then the child's pose should be fine. If not, just keep your wrist loose, how it feels good. And then coming into tabletop. And tabletop should be fine, but again, if this 90-degree angle is hurting your wrist, then come onto the palm of your hand again, or use the block, maybe, rest on the forearm so you can keep the wrist completely loose. I'm doing as many cat and cow here to stimulate the spine. And then when you come into down dog, there are several options. So down dog can really aggravate the wrist pain. So either you come into a three-legged dog, the same as I've showed in the shoulder pain version. You come back, you walk the feet closer, and the injured wrist just comes on the opposite side. You still can walk here. It's a special pose, requires some strength, especially of that healthy arm and shoulder. What you also can do is you can use the block And that hand can stay in front, and you put the hand on the front edge, stretch the fingers down or straight, and still most of the weight bearing will be now on your healthy wrist, but the other one gets stretched and lengthened and the arm can stay where it is. Then you bend the knees. Now you use the block not to reach down so much. Step the left leg forward because we step the left leg back. Maybe using both blocks, keeping both wrists long instead of a 90-degree angle, and stretching the right leg. Stepping forward, lengthening, folding forward, and then here you can use both hands, either with bent knees or straight, reaching up and back. Let us do the other side. Inhale. Now I pretend my left wrist is hurting me. Yeah. So inhale, exhale, hands together. Inhale, reach up and back, lengthen long, reach forward and down. Now my left wrist is hurting me, so I step back, maybe using both blocks. I can keep my right hand on the floor, but the left, I keep the wrist rather long, not aggravating. And now I come into either a regular push-up with my right hand on the floor, the left hand in a fist, so my wrist doesn't get too much weight bearing and stays stable. And either I stay here or I move to the side into a side plank, and I'm not going to use my left wrist at all. You can also step forward here if it's too hard. Then you come back, you flip around on the fist again, you lower the knees, you come onto your elbows, and then you lower down, knees, hips, and right away into the Sphinx pose instead of the Cobra pose. Then you open the elbows, you lower down, and you push back with the hand, with the fist, reaching back and making sure you push with the fist, and then child's pose should be fine here, lengthening. This, if it's aggravating you, again, stay on the fist or work with a block, or like I showed you before, use the high version and come up on your forearm so your wrist doesn't get any pressure at all. And do a couple of cat and cow, just relaxing your wrist. And then coming into down dog, either with your right hand is the good arm, you walk your feet forward, the left hand with the injured wrist reaches back into this version of down dog, or you can take a block and just stretch the wrist and the fingers so you actively strengthening the hand and you're reaching back. And then you lower, you come up with both the blocks, stepping the right leg forward, lengthening up, keeping the wrists long, and then stretch, stepping forward, lengthening forward, reaching up and back. Let's do one flowing version. First, my right wrist is hurting, then my left wrist is hurting. Inhale, exhale, one. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, reach forward and down. My right wrist is hurting, so I step, as always, my left leg first. My right wrist is not pushing, is lengthening here or here. I come into a regular push-up position with my right fist on the floor, putting most pressure on my left, or I do a side plank where I don't have any pressure on the wrist. Then I come down, lower knees, my elbows and forearms, lower all the way down into a Sphinx pose. Elbows are underneath your shoulders. You really spread the fingers wide. You open the elbows, you push with one hand and the right fist to strengthen the wrist without overstretching it, and you relax into a child's pose. Cat and cow, either with a fist or the block is high so you can rest the forearm. There is no pressure at all. Down dog, using a block, spreading the hand, lengthening the wrist, reaching long or no pressure at all, reaching the right hand back. Lowering your knees, using one block or using both blocks, stepping the left leg forward, keeping both wrists long, stepping forward, lengthening the right leg. Inhale, exhale, inhale, reaching up and back. Now my left hand is hurting. For those of you who watch whose left hand is hurting, inhale, exhale, inhale, up and back. Exhale, reach forward and down. Stepping the right leg back, right knee on the floor, both wrists long again. Then come into plank. Left wrist is hurting you. Come onto the fist. Just the right hand takes most of the pressure. Or you come into side plank of your choice. You lower down, knees, elbows, forearms, lower hips, reaching up. Open the elbows, come down, push back with the injured hand, making a fist so you're not pressing more, strengthening the arm, release. Coming into cat and cow, total pressure taking off by doing it this way. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Opening the block, stretching the hands so you put more pressure on the long wrist, which actually strengthens the wrist, or you reach the hand back, walking the feet a little closer. Couple of breaths here. And lowering, taking both blocks, stepping your right foot forward. You can do it without the block too, but then try to keep always the wrist long, yeah, not pushing like this. Otherwise, keep both wrists long and stepping forward. Exhale, and then inhale, reaching forward, up and back, and exhale. Yeah, these were 4 Sun Salutations. You can keep on going, doing up to 12. And you know this, your other arm will get strengthened, but you still can do it. And really the most important is just to keep listening to what your body needs, what your wrist needs, and just to give the wrist a rest while you actually keep on moving the rest of your body. If you like this video, please like it, show me in the comments, share your experience with me, what helped you. I'm happy to listen and reply. And as well, share this video if you need to. Read the blog, the link is below for more detailed explanation what you can do when you've injured yourself in yoga or outside of yoga and you still want to do yoga. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Namaste.